going to send it back to you now.
All right, thanks, Lori. We're getting word that Dr. Petit is coming out of the courtroom right now. Let's send it to some live pictures and see what he has to say.
First of all, the Petit and Hawke families would really like to thank the many people from the state of Connecticut and all across the United States that have kept our faith up. Cards, prayers, emails, texts, donations to the foundation. There's just been a groundswell of support from all over. We did our best to keep our faith in God that justice would be served. We really thank the jury for their due diligence and careful consideration of the charges in reaching what we feel is an appropriate verdict. And we hope they will continue to use the same diligence and clarity of thought as they consider arguments in the penalty phase of the trial.
Dr. Petit, even though there was a sense of inevitability about the verdict, was there any sense of relief when it came down for you?
There is there is some relief, but my family is still gone. It doesn't bring them back. It doesn't bring back the home that we had, but certainly a guilty verdict is a much better sense of relief than a verdict of non-guilty.
Dr. Petit, what are Jennifer and the girls saying right now with this verdict?
I think Jennifer would say that she never prayed to God to ask for specific things. She prayed to God to ask for the strength to be able to handle the things that occurred to her in her life, such as the MS, and I think probably they were all praying for our strength to be able to be here beginning back in January of this year when jury selection began.
Dr. Petit, was there any point in this trial where you felt that maybe this outcome wouldn't have turned out the way it did?
No, I thought the evidence was fairly overwhelming, and I thought Mr. Dearington and Mr. Nicholson did a very nice job in presenting the state's case.
Dr. Petit, so one of the defense strategies was to paint this man as the less culpable. What's the reaction to that strategy?
I don't know if it was a reaction. I think the family thought from the beginning that each of the defendants would point the finger at the other defendant as being more culpable, so we sort of expected it 3 years ago.
Are you disappointed that one of the counts?
No.
Are you going to be able to do it again? I mean, you've got a penalty phase, another trial, another penalty phase, 3 more trials.
People keep asking that question. Why do you do it or how do you do it? I think most of you out here are good human beings. I think that you probably would all do the same thing for your families. If your family was destroyed by evil, I think that you would all try to do the same thing and be there for your family. I mean, it's the one thing you can do. So, do I really want to do it? Do I look forward to the ride every day? No. I have a little nausea every time I get off the exit ramp. A little nausea every time I get out of the car and walk across the street. But I think I do it for my family. But I think all of you, I think, would do the same thing for your families.
How will you spend the next week and a half when you don't have to do that?
Haven't really thought about it. have a couple of golf invitations from some good friends if the rain stops.
Dr. Pettit, you did 3 years just to get to this point. I'm sure the family was waiting there with you. Were you happy to see that the jury did deliberate in such a short period of time? Did it take deliberations for another week, another 2 weeks?
Well, certainly it's much easier psychologically on us to only have to wait several days than have to wait several weeks. But having never been in this position before, I had no idea what to expect. And in fact, our victim's advocate and Mr. Dearington and Mr. Nicholson didn't know what to expect either. So I had no predictions from anybody as to whether it was going to be hours, days, or weeks.
Dr. Pettit, can you talk about your family? We as the media have seen a glimpse of how strong you guys are. What do you guys do tonight?
Good question. We'll probably sit on the couch and talk and probably have dinner together and try to decide what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks. Talk with Dick and Mary Bell Hawke, my in-laws. They're here en route to their home in Florida, and whether they'll stay for the 2 weeks and wait, or whether they'll head to Florida and then come back for parts of the second part of the trial, because there's been no plan to date as to what exactly their actions would be, and when Cindy, Jen's sister, would come back for the second part of the trial.
Do you have any comment on the not guilty count today?
I don't think so. I don't know that I completely understand it.
Dr. Pettit, you mentioned that you hope the jury is appropriate during the sentence. What's appropriate for you? What should happen?
I really don't want to comment on that and interject anything at this point that may affect the second part of the trial.
He is a convicted killer now. It is official. He is. They've ruled on that. Does it matter what happens to him to this point? Does he matter anymore to you?
Well, what matters to me most is my family and my memories of my family, and trying to do good things through our foundation. I don't know, over the last couple of weeks, I've just kept trying to tell myself that good will overcome evil, and we'll keep trying to do good things and try to refocus myself on the positive and stay away from the negative.
Thank you, everybody. We're going to try and get home.
Thank you.
So that was Dr. William Pettit speaking. Just absolutely heart-wrenching.